as a consequence of recording blind playthroughs on this channel, I've captured me doing some pretty stupid things or making some pretty silly mistakes, but being unable to add up 3 single-digit numbers like in the last video was probably a new low. But yeah, I heard some interesting stories from Seven about the Titanic, the Gigantic, about this mysterious mummy called Alice, or Ice, who looked suspiciously like Lotus, who is already strangely dressed, considering how everyone else is dressed quite normally, right? Normal within the context of modern society, I guess. Right? School uniforms, overalls on Seven. Yeah, I feel like everyone else is quite toned down. Then there's Lotus, who's... I don't know. Her outfit looked a bit... look a bit Indian, maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure. But it definitely looks out of place. So maybe she is the frozen Egyptian. Right, Lucy. Got a gift for you. Okay, so we've collected the 6 parts of the medical mannequin. The ones we've got must be for Lucy, right? Yep. Seems like it. Well, let's say we give Lucy her parts back. Any objections? Nope. Agreed. Alright, let's get started. Combine! Hey! Nothing happened. That's odd. Maybe it's the wrong weight. Weight? Yeah, well, you know, how there's a scale on the side of the bed? Maybe. We need to get the scale to a specific number. How are we going to do that? Oh, swap her body parts to John's? Maybe we just remove the heart. Oh, let's give it a shot. Operating instructions. The screen will display 2 medical mannequins. You can switch their body parts by selecting the part you want to switch out. What, so they need to be the same, I guess? There's his pink. Her waist goes in slightly. We can't swap the right arms or their heads. Right, so let's just swap everything. Ah. Hey, Junpei, I just heard something. It came from John's operating table. We better check it out. Certainly. Huh. The lid on the scale. A key. Hey, it opens. Oh, I get it. It must have opened because we matched John's weight to what's on the chart. There's something... Yep. The Jupiter key. Excellent. Hey! The symbol engraved on that key. Isn't it the Jupiter symbol? And that means... Certainly does.
Hey, hold on.
Yeah. Junpei stopped, about to put the key into the doorknob. I don't think there's anything else left to find in there, but...
Oh, what's up?
Where's Clover?
Huh?
Junpei turned around. Clover was nowhere to be seen.
Oh, God damn it. Where the hell did she go? Okay, just hold on a minute. I'll go get her.
Sure thing.
Junpei left Seven at the door and headed back to the operating room. He found her, standing next to the operating table. She was staring at the mannequin.
Hey, Clover. What's wrong? Come on, let's get out of here.
She didn't respond. If she hadn't been standing up and breathing, Junpei might have thought she was dead.
What are you doing? Did you want to come back here and say goodbye to John?
It wasn't the best joke, but it was something. An attempt to lighten the mood. Clover didn't laugh. She stood stock still and said nothing.
Hey, Clover, can you hear me?
Perhaps it was something he'd said, or perhaps it was something else. Suddenly her mouth opened and she whispered in a dry, dead voice.
My brother might be dead.
Huh?
That's why we couldn't find him. If he's dead...
I mean, if he's dead by the means that people are dying in this, will die in this game, we would have heard an explosion. There's a chance he died in some sort of accident. Could have fallen down the stairs or anything like that. But
I'm going to be next.
we would have found him if he would have fallen down the stairs. Suddenly, the operating room felt very, very cold.
What are you talking about? What's wrong with you?
He gave it a small shake, but she still didn't respond. The silence grew heavier. Junpei. Yeah, we could spin her a little story about hope, faith, love, and luck, right? Trinket, a token. I mean, we've just asked her to leave in a roundabout way several times, so let's give her the 4-leaf.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't know why, but suddenly Junpei remembered something he'd been given earlier.
It's in my pocket somewhere. Here it is.
He reached into his pocket and dug it out.
A 4-leaf clover.
Santa had given it to him in the second classroom. He held it out to Clover.
Hey, did you know? Each leaf means something. Hope, faith, love, and luck. That's what a 4-leaf clover stands for. Take it. Use it as a good luck charm.
He pressed the 4-leaf clover into her hand.
Listen to me, Clover. No matter what happens, you can never lose hope. You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith and to have love. If you can remember all of those, that'll bring you good luck. Snake, I mean, your brother, he's not dead. He's alive, somewhere. I'm sure of it. You've just gotta believe in that.
Clover stared at the 4-leaf clover in her hand. He could see tears start to form at the corners of her eyes.
Thank you.
Her voice was tiny and broken, and as she spoke, she started to cry. She tried to hide her tears by looking at the floor, but it did little good. She wiped away the tears with the baggy arms of her jacket, but more quickly took their place. No matter how she tried, she couldn't stop crying. Her tears made small wet circles on the floor.
Thank you.
She said it again. Then she looked up at Junpei and seemed to choke down the last of her grief. She did her best to smile. Junpei wiped an errant tear from her cheek with his thumb and gave her the best smile he could manage.
Come on. Seven's waiting for us at the exit.
But still, she didn't move.
Wait, before we go, there's one thing I want to ask you.
What's that?
What do you think when you hear the word experiment?
For a moment, his mind froze. Then he came back to his senses and realized the word meant nothing to him, aside from the dictionary definition.
What?
Oh. I guess it was just a coincidence then. I mean, that you knew about the 4-leaf clover.
Okay. The Clover experiment.
Look, I'm sorry. I don't want to be a jerk, but you are making less than no sense right now.
Less than no... Man, why do people insist on using double negatives? It's the most... When you actually think about what they're trying to say, like, I just go completely brain dead. And there's a reason why double negatives aren't supposed to be used.
Oh, no. It's nothing. Just forget about it.
No. Oh, don't give me that. You really think I could just drop this? What is this experiment you were talking about?
Clover looked away. The four-leaf clover was still in her hand. She stared at it for a long moment and then finally spoke.
You promise you won't tell anyone?
Pinky swear.
Cross my heart.
Really?
Really?
I can trust you, right?
I'm just for posterity, I'm gonna write down keep this a secret. In caps. Keep Clover's secret. And I've drawn a box around it. And some exclamation marks.
Of course you can.
This is one thing you're never supposed... I don't know how old Clover's supposed to be, but this is one thing you're never supposed to do with kids. Is tell them that you promised to keep a secret. So if they're going to tell you something, that something's happened to them, you have to be able to communicate it to other adults. So never do this. Unless... I don't know, maybe you do it with your own kids, but yeah, you should never do this. Clover slips the four-leaf clover into her pocket. Her eyes still red from crying, she looked up at Junpei.
Okay then, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what happened on this ship 9 years ago.
What? Okay, so I'm aware that there are sequels. I don't know if this is the first game in this series, or I don't know. You know, I try to research around things as like vaguely as possible, but obviously this is I bought this game on Steam, and you have to buy it with the next game, which is Virtue's Last Reward, VLR. It's VLR, right? That's what everyone knows it as. So obviously there's a sequel. So maybe there was a game before this that I'm not aware of on a previous Nintendo system, perhaps.
Wait. On this ship?
Yeah, this ship.
He was entirely lost. He had 1,000 questions, but it was probably best, he thought, to save them until Clover had finished. Okay, so perhaps she wouldn't have told us any of this if we wouldn't have given her the Clover. I don't know if there is a circumstance where Santa doesn't give us the Clover as well.
It was an experiment to test some sort of psychic thing. Communicating through these fields that you can't see.
Another person mentioning this.
Fields that you can't see?
How many people have mentioned this? I can't remember specifically what Santa was talking to us about, but he gave us the four-leaf clover thing. I'm just going to say that, she's the 5th person to bring this up, so we are miles out of the loop here. We heard something like this. He'd heard something like this before. Clover nodded.
Like, think about this.
She pointed at the operating table. On top of it was a somewhat mismatched medical mannequin whose parts had been swapped with another one.
This is John, right?
Yep.
But is he really John?
Huh?
All Junpei could think was she's finally completely lost it. Well, no, he's had his body moved.
Isn't this like Locke's socks? Or the ship of Theseus?
I sense an explanation coming. Junpei grew even more confused. He'd never heard of either of those things, although they sounded smart.
You don't know? You haven't heard of those paradoxes?
Smart's one of those words that that rarely gets used in the same way in England as it does in America. Just for a little reference for you there. Smart usually means you're dressed. You know, like if you're wearing like a tuxedo or a nice suit, you look smart. It doesn't mean intelligent. We'd say clever in that spot. But you know, a lot of American phrases carry over to England, but smart generally isn't one of them. I don't know, you might say that's smart. Yeah, you'd never use it to mean intelligent. You'd mean it to mean something looks good, or something's quite cool, or something that's smart. Right, those particular paradoxes.
No?
Junpei shook his head.
Really?
Clover laughed. I'm still surprised she can hear us with the earmuffs, but...
Okay, well pay attention then. This is how lock socks works. Let's say I've got a pair of socks. They're my favorite socks.
Yep, don't know why.
One of them gets a hole in it.
Yep.
What would you do if that was your sock, Junpei?
Throw it away. Throw it away.
Well, I'd pitch it, I guess.
But it's your favorite pair of socks.
Oh, I forgot that.
Come on, who loves their socks that much?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Just suppose you do love them that much.
Well, I guess then I'd patch it.
But what if another hole opens?
I'd add another patch, I suppose.
What if another hole opened after that?
Another patch, I guess?
This, sounds like a Bethesda game, right?
Well, let's say you just keep adding new patches. Until eventually, the original cloth of the sock is totally gone.
Yeah! Sounds just like a Bethesda game.
Once you get to that point, can you really say they're the same socks you started with?
Well, that's tough.
A sock is such a stupid thing to use for this analogy, but okay.
So, that's the lock socks thing?
Yeah, it's if something completely physically changes, is it still the same? Right? Transformative.
Yeah, the ship of Theseus is a lot like it. The ship of Theseus. If you keep fixing the damaged parts of a ship, eventually it ends up with none of the parts it started with.
See, that's a bit different.
Can you really say that ship is the same one you started with?
Yeah, it's different because the ship has a name, there are multiple people who share the experience of being on board it, and all those people will still call it the ship of Theseus, right? So that is different. It's different than the socks.
And what if you took all the old parts from the first ship and built another one somewhere else? Then which ship is the real ship of Theseus? The one you repaired, or the one you built with all the original parts?
This was a good thought experiment that I always remember at university that was about consciousness. So the thought experiment is about whether the soul exists separately from the body. So the thought experiment, which is very similar to this, is that if someone invented a machine that could teleport you anywhere, as long as it just teleport you to another identical machine, let's say from here to the other side of the world, so I don't know, New Zealand, right? So there's a machine in New Zealand and a machine in New Zealand and a machine here. I get in the machine, it completely disintegrates me, and then I get reintegrated identically to the exact molecule in this other machine. Would I be the same person? Similar sort of question, right? But the crux of that argument is your soul tied to your physical body, or would your soul go out of your body, float across the world and then re-enter your new body, so your soul would still be the same, or would you be in fact a new person who just thought he was the same? Now, I don't believe in a separate soul, so I would say that every time you stepped inside that machine, you would be dying and becoming, and then a new person is on the other side who just thinks that they're you. I would say that, yeah, you are that you as a person are tied to the physical parts, but with an inanimate object, or with an object like this, or a vessel, it's a little bit different because the people using it are probably still the same. And if you built a new ship with all the original parts, different people would be using it. They would give the ship a different name. So it's more about like the memories and experiences that get tied to something rather than the physical body. Whereas the thought experiment I'm talking about with a person's body is different. It was an interesting question. Clover could see Junpei was intrigued.
Hey, do you think it's the same?
What's the same?
These guys. Is this John, or is it Lucy now?
Junpei looked at the operating table again. Well, the head's still the same. A mannequin full of body parts from a different body. Clover had been right. It was just like Locke's socks and the ship of Theseus. The part of the body that holds a person's identity is the head. It's not exactly true, but... Of course, for many hundreds of years, conventional wisdom had held that a man's identity resided in his heart. Or any of a number of internal organs. Yeah, very true. And here, they had both.
John's head and heart are both his. But apart from those, and a single arm, the rest of his body was once Lucy's.
Was that mannequin really John?
We're just like these mannequins.
She looked at Junpei again. Yeah. I mean, the problem with these thought experiments is sometimes is that it doesn't take into account like the transitory nature of this thought experiment, right? The idea that anything that's, even things that stay the same over a period of time aren't really the same, or for people as well, right? There is a transitory element. The transitory element of time means that you are different from moment to moment, from day to day, week to week, year to year. You're not always the same person, but you still see yourself on like a timeline, a consistent line that is you, that just evolves in a way, but also doesn't disregard the past. It kind of like it amalgamates in a way. Because personally, I always think it's really unhealthy to think of yourself in the past as being such a different person. Even if you were really different, those experiences are still a part of who you are. But, yeah.
Think about it. The cells in our body change every day. Old ones die and new ones are born.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe part of my arm is made of stuff from a fish I ate once.
It's a bit of a blunt way of putting it, but okay.
Or maybe part of your right side is made from a cow you ate. If you take it a little further, those cows and fishes are made from something else too, right?
Yes, we are all one, Clover. Me and you, we are all a part of the earth. We are earthlings. We will be part of the soil one day.
That's how we're all connected.
Yes.
Through fields that can't be seen with the naked eye.
Science was broken by 7.
Hey, what the hell is taking you two so long?
God! Philosophy! 7's head appeared in the doorway. He wasn't happy.
How long are you going to make me wait? We don't have time to screw around.
Just kind of look like he's like really angrily sat on the toilet. I've got to be honest. Like he's been taken by surprise. No, not that. No, he's not sat on the toilet, but he's going to the toilet. He couldn't get the overalls off in time. The buckles, he just couldn't get them off. And I nearly just ripped my shirt off. Right. And yeah, that's the look I'm getting from 7. Just shit in his pants. Right. Junpei and Clover looked at each other. Clover looked at Junpei as if to say there was more she wanted to tell him. She shook her head. Whatever she had to tell him, she didn't want to tell him in front of Seven. Seven seemed to catch on.
Oh? What were you two doing? Was this some sort of secret meeting?
No.
No, it wasn't. We were just
Chatting.
Just...
playing with the mannequins.
Oh, why'd you have to say that? You know he's already got a perverted joke about the mannequins.
Huh?
Let's go, Junpei.
Moving a little bit too fast to be entirely innocent, Clover headed toward the exit. See, this is why you don't make promises, man. Keep Clover's secret. Keep the secret.
Playing with mannequins, huh?
Oh, God.
Didn't know you were into that kind of thing, Junpei.
You're a dick.
Junpei dashed past him and traced Clover's path out of the door. With a short laugh, Seven followed. All right, he's letting it go. Cheers, big man. They stood in front of the door. Junpei took out the Jupiter key.
All right, I'm gonna open it now. Is that cool?
You don't need to keep asking, just do it, all right?
Fine then.
What the mannequin said. Right. Put the key into the keyhole and turned it. Everything's a euphemism. He felt it unlock. The door opened with a soft, melancholy creak. Beyond it lay a simple white hallway. There was no fanfare or confetti. Obviously, there was no one there to applaud them. They simply walked through the door. That was it.
All right, let's get going.
Hey, man, what's up with you?
I'm not myself, Seven. I'm a different person. I'm a new person every second. My cells are changing. My very being is transforming into a person I don't even recognize. That's what's up.
You're so serious, you know? Can't you sound more happy, you know, get a little excited?
What the hell are you talking about, man? You just want me to, like, excitedly run through the door? Come on, guys, let's go!
Not really.
Junpei turned away from Seven and took his first step down the simple white hallway.
My brother might be dead. I'm going to be next.
Okay, I'd not realised the absolutely tiny size of her hands. Sorry to ruin the moment here. So I don't know why she thinks she's going to be next. Clover had told him only a few minutes before that her brother was probably dead and she was likely to follow him.
Like hell I can. Not after hearing something like that.
You found it. They left the operating room. The hallway took them around several corners and past several doors, but they were all locked.
There too, huh? Every door in this place is locked up tight.
How about that one?
The final door was hidden in a corner of the hall. Why are you walking so loud?
May as well give it a try.
Now, maybe this is the door that's next to door number 3 and number 7. In between, sorry. Junpei grabs the handle. As he made to push it open, a voice stopped him. The voice came from behind him and belonged to neither Seven nor Clover.
Jumpy!
Huh?
He spun around. He saw someone running toward him. from the other end of the hallway. There were 3 people coming toward Junpei and his companions.
June? And Santa! And Lotus, too!
That's my best June face. They pulled up short in front of Junpei, breathing hard.
Whoa! What the hell is this?
What are you talking about? What is this? It's us, the people you met.
What are you doing here?
Oh, look, it's Alice, the Egyptian immortal.
What? But we didn't...
With the gravity-defying... whatever this is. Sarong. It's not a sarong. Before he could finish, Clover spoke.
Hey guys, could you come take a look at this?
She was standing near the end of a small hallway that branched off to the right. The rest of them ran over to her, curious as to what she'd found.
Look on the wall here.
There was something on the wall at the end of the hallway.
A map of the ship's interior?
Oh, where did mine go?
It says C deck. So it's the map for this floor then?
Oh, right. We don't have this one.
Door 7. And... Door 8. Yep, they both eventually end up at this hallway.
Yeah, I told you, look. So, there's door 3, and there's the door that leads back in. In fact...
Yeah, isn't that what I said? We aren't going to be split up permanently till we find door 9. We might get separated for a little while, but we'll see each other again. Otherwise, we won't be able to open door 9.
He's so chill sometimes, and then he just...
That's how the Nonary game works.
I see.
Sounds like he's played this game a million times at this point. But that's how it works. Yeah, seen it all before. These overalls, they've seen some things. They're not overalls, I know. They're dungarees or whatever. Cover up. No. They're dungarees. Overalls need to cover your arms. Junpei looked at the map of the ship's interior again.
Wait a sec. Hey, could this lead to...
As he looked more closely, his surprise and excitement gave way to weariness.
Oh,
You've got to be kidding me.
One by one, the others saw what he'd seen.
We may as well go.
yeah.
They moved as one for the door.
Oh, almost forgot. We should keep this.
He pulled the map of the ship's interior off the wall and put it in his pocket, then followed the others. The 6 of them stood in front of the door, arrayed in a semicircle. Stop making fists! Santa stepped forward. He took hold of the door and spoke without looking back at the other 5. He does kind of look like a Pokemon gym leader to me. Santa. And that's the pose he'd do just before he threw his, Steelix.
Ready? I'm gonna open it.
Slowly, all 5 nodded their silent assent. With a deep breath, Santa threw open the door. Really? Yeah, but is the door going to stay open? They poured through the doorway and into the room. Even without looking around, each one of them knew where they were.
I knew it.
They were just where the map had said they would be.
We're back.
Right, where's Ace?
In the hospital room.
Right, now Ace... If Ace found Snake, they've gone through door 3, right? Oh, no, they've not, because there's only 2 of them. Scratch that.
I see. I believe I understand what you're saying. The 6 of you split into 2 teams and went through doors 7 and 8.
To recap, because we're not short on time.
You solved the puzzles in the operating room and the laboratory, and then met one another in the hallway after opening your respective locked doors.
He looked like anyone might after only just waking up, but it seemed that his brain was working as well as ever. He'd managed to grasp, summarize, and understand each team's report.
At any rate, I feel a bit silly for my little show of altruism. I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me. I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
Ace shook his head with a rueful smile.
Well, we saw each other again and we ain't dead, so I say that's good enough.
7 smiled.
Anyway, I said we get out of this creepy old place. We found the key we need.
The key?
Ain't that what I just said?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Jupiter key. We found it in the operating room. Right, Junpei?
Yeah,
Junpei nodded.
Oh, the solar system keys. Actually, we found one in the laboratory too. Here, the Earth key.
Earth and Jupiter, right. Lotus dug out a still warm key with an Earth symbol on it.
I might lose it. It's probably better if you hold on to it. That way
Yeah.
it won't be my fault if it gets lost.
Yep. You've got no pockets, as we can all see.
yeah, on it.
And with that, she pressed it into Junpei's hand. He felt slightly less than honored.
Now we have 3 keys that we haven't used yet.
Yeah. The Jupiter key that we found in the operating room. The Saturn key card we found in the kitchen.
Right, so we've got... I'm just going to make a key of keys, if you will. Oh, has the sun been mentioned, or the moon? I'm not sure. 9 keys, I guess, right. So we've got the Jupiter key. We've got the Earth key. And we've got the Saturn key.
And the Earth key Lotus just gave me.
Jupiter tucked the new keys into his pocket. June spoke up.
The Jupiter key is supposed to be for the door at the end of that long, straight hallway, right?
Yeah. If the map's right, then it connects to the central staircase. Then, next to the stairs...
Wait!
They were the first words anyone had heard out of Clover in quite some time. Her face suggested they weren't going to be very happy words.
What about door 3?
Look, you saw the map, right? It's the same as 7 and 8. It just lead us back to the big hospital room. There's no point to seeing what's on the other side of that door.
Yeah, but what about Snake?
There is a point.
Snake! I've not really played most of the Metal Gears. I think I played 2 when I was like really young. But yeah, Snake.
At least there is for me.
There were tears in her eyes, but she glared at 7 as hard as she could, just the same. She looked very much like a frightened puppy. Oh, hang on. So, of all these people here, I feel like the people who would be willing to come with us would be Ace, Clover, us, and June. So that doesn't work. So Clover's gonna come. We're gonna go. That doesn't work. How much do we need to get 3? We need a 12 or a 21. So, right, so Junpei, June, and Ace could go through door 3. There wasn't a man alive who could have resisted those eyes. 7 looked everywhere in the room except at Clover and muttered and coughed apologies under his breath.
Yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. Snake might be on the other side of door 3.
Clover nodded once. Alternatively, Santa could come with Clover and Junpei. There's no way Santa's going to agree to this. The next person to speak was Ace.
Very well. I'll be coming with you then. I've had a nice long rest. I think it's time I was up and about again. So, Seven, you'll help me, won't you?
Huh? Me?
Yeah. 7. Junpei did the calculations quickly in his head. Yep. It looked like 7 was doing them too. At last, he gave up.
Damn. Well, I guess that's how it's gotta be.
Not necessarily.
So I'm going with you, huh?
Yes, you are.
All right, let's get moving.
And so it was decided that Clover, Ace, and 7 would discover what lay beyond door 3. Oh, they're just going. Do we not get to
Okay,
protest?
we're heading out.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Whoa. Didn't think I'd be hearing that from you, Lotus.
Yeah, Ice Lady.
Don't let it go to your head. I'd be in trouble if the 3 of you bought it. The rest of us can't open the 9 door.
Ah, the truth comes out.
7 nodded as if this answer made much more sense and pulled the lever on the red. Now be careful. I really would have liked to have gone with Ace. Because we've not really spent any
Okay,
time with
we're
him
off.
yet. The door opened and Ace, Clover, and 7 jumped through it. Oh, we're stuck with the... Oh. After exactly 9 seconds, the door closed noisily.
All right, we should get moving too.
Yeah, great. Stuck with you and Santa again.
Huh?
Get moving.
Where are we going?
Yeah, we might as well get a head start. Everyone except Lotus seemed rather confused.
Well, it would be a waste of time to just sit around, wouldn't it? Let me explain.
Oh, I get it. We're gonna see if we can get anywhere interesting with the Jupiter key.
Oh, and all the other keys.
Yes. If we're lucky, we might find Snake.
They were at the end of the hallway, lined by individual hospital rooms.
And here's the Jupiter symbol on the keyhole.
All right, Junpei, open it if you please.
Yeah,
Right,
on
thanks,
it.
Thanks, Alice. Junpei pulled the Jupiter key out of his pocket and slid it in the keyhole. He twisted. With a nice sharp click, he felt the door unlock. Junpei sucked in a breath, held it, and opened the door as quietly as he could. Inside was exactly what he'd expected to see from the map of the ship's interior. They were in a tremendous hall, almost like a ballroom, with a massive central staircase.
Great, back to the beginning. You sure this is a good idea?
Alright guys, I'm going to leave the video there. This just seems like a good opportunity to finish the video at the time I'm supposed to. 45 minutes. Because we're in a new place. Interesting. What Clover told us. Mentioned an experiment. Cool thought experiments about Locke's socks and the ship of Theseus, right? We've got the 3 keys. This whole idea of like a shared consciousness or signals or mass communication type thing. Like a telekinesis of sorts, right? No, it's not telekinesis, is it? Telepathy. Interesting. Hopefully, I really wanted to go through door 3 with, but we couldn't have gone through with Clover, I suppose. Well, I could have gone through with Clover. It's just Santa would have had to come. I'd really like to be able to spend some time with Ace at some point. I imagine we will. But yeah, we'll pick it up from here next time, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Leave me a like if you did. Just remember, everyone, never trust. And on Crate, I'll see you next time.